This is 2-3, solving inequalities by multiplying or dividing. There's a lot to read through here on the multiplication and division properties of inequalities, but I'm just going to summarize it for you. The thing that is most important here is whenever, let's try that again, when you multiply or divide, this is so important, by a negative on both sides of the inequality symbol. So just like if you're solving for an equation and you multiply or divide by a negative on both sides. So this happens when you're, this is for when you do that to an inequality. When you multiply or divide by a negative on both sides of the inequality symbol, you must reverse the inequality sign or flip the inequality sign to the other direction. Okay, let's see what that would look like. So example 1a, 23m is less than or equal to 69. So this is exactly like an equation. We're isolating m, so it has multiplication of 23. We're going to divide both sides by 23. And m is going to be less than or equal to 3. M is less than or equal to 3, okay? And we did not multiply or divide both sides by a negative, so I kept the inequality sign the same direction. So I'm going to go over to my graph. At 3, this is a closed circle because of the equal to part of the inequality sign, less than or equal to 3. And since it's less than, it's going to match the arrowhead on the left. And so this is my inequality, my graphed inequality. Okay, next problem. 3a over 4 is greater than or equal to negative 6. There's a couple of different ways that you could solve b. I would multiply both sides by 4 to eliminate that fraction. Multiply by the denominator to eliminate the fraction. 3a is greater than or equal to negative 24. To get rid of the 3, we divide both sides by 3. Again, I did not multiply or divide by a negative. So everything is the same as solving equations so far. Negative 24 divided by 3 is negative 8. That's a closed circle at negative 8. And the arrowhead, it's a greater than symbol, so it matches the arrowhead on the right. And so this is my inequality graphed. So for the set builder notation for both of these now, all the values of m such that m is less than or equal to 3. And for example b, it was for all the values of a such that a is greater than or equal to negative 8. Example 3, here's where we're going to flip some inequality signs or reverse the inequality signs. Okay, so negative 3y, I already know I'm going to reverse because the coefficient, the negative 3, is negative. So to get rid of the negative 3, since it's multiplication, we divide both sides by negative 3, just like we would with an equation. But because we multiplied or divided both sides by a negative, that means I'm going to flip the direction of my inequality sign. Instead of greater than, it is now a less than. Negative 45 divided by negative 3 is positive. Sorry, I didn't mean to write that. Positive 15. So I'm going to go to 15 on the number line. It's an open circle because it's not equal to, and it's a less than symbol now. So it's going to match the arrowhead on the left. And there's my inequality for all the values of y such that y is less than 15. Next, to get rid of negative 6, the a over negative 6. I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 6. If you didn't do that yet, you want to multiply by 6 on both sides. At the end, you'd be dividing by negative 1 on both sides, so it's really the same thing. I'm multiplying both sides by negative 6, so I end up with positive a right there. And I flip my inequality sign. Instead of greater than or equal to, it's going to be less than or equal to negative 18. So go to negative 18. It's going to be a closed circle. It's going, it's less than, so it's the left arrowhead. So for all values of a, such that a is less than or equal to negative 18. Example 3, a cookie recipe calls for 3/4 cups of sugar. 3/4 cups of sugar. And the cafeteria cooks have 9 cups of sugar. That's my total. The total amount. How many batches of the cookies can they make? Remember that of means to multiply. So 3/4 cups of sugar. And they can't go over 9 cups of sugar. They have to either be less than or equal to the 9 cups. We could see how many batches of cookies that they can make now. So a couple options. I can multiply by the reciprocal for thirds, or I can eliminate the fraction right away. I can multiply by 4 to both sides first if I want to. And so I get 3x is less than or equal to 36. And then to isolate x now, it's multiplication, so I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to divide both sides by 3, and x is less than or equal to 12. So they can make 12 or less batches of cookies.